Hello guys, welcome to Spoiler Land. Today, I am going to explain an Indian romance costume drama film called Sita Ramam. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins in 1964 in a terrorist camp in Pakistan, where Ansari is the leader of a Pakistani terrorist group, who cannot tolerate brotherhood between Hindus and Muslims in Kashmir, and wants to break the bond between Hindus and Muslims there, and separate them and occupy Kashmir. They know that the Indian army has kept these two types of people in main unity. So he brainwashed some teenagers from Pakistan and sent them across the border to Kashmir. And changed them a lot to make his plan successful and advised them to stay in Kashmir. Then we see 20 years later here we see a girl in London named Afrin. She doesn't like India at all. Means the relationship between normal Indian-Pakistani common people. As she lives in London, we learn that Pakistan's flag has been burnt in India. In revenge for burning the Pakistani flag, she set fire to the car of Anand Mehta, an Indian social worker in London. And for this the university board management asks her to apologize to Anand, but she hates Indians so much that she will never say sorry to Indians. She doesn't agree to apologize. Then the man named Anand tells him, if you don't apologize, you will have to pay a fine of 1 million rupees or else you will go to jail. You have two options. Since Afrin is a stubborn patriot, she agrees to pay 1 million rupees. Means here the price of not saying sorry is 1 million rupees. So anyway, to collect this money she comes to her grandfather in her own country. Here we get to know that her grandfather is an army brigadier. His name is Abu Tariq. Here she learns from a lawyer that grandpa has died, but left a letter for her before his death, where Afrin finds a letter from Indian Army Lieutenant Ram, written in 1965. He asked to deliver the letter to his lover Sita Mahalakshmi in India. When Afrin's grandfather was alive he could not deliver the letter, and now when Afrin wants to get his grandfather's property, his grandfather's will this letter to reach its rightful destination. Since Afrin needs money, he goes to India to deliver the letter to Sita. In India she goes to Hyderabad in search of Sita, and there she meets her friend from London University. And after investigating there we came to know that a girl named Sita was staying in a hostel in Hyderabad. Afrin then goes to that place and meets a man named Subramaniam there. The man says, I have been working in this hostel for more than 20 years. 20 years ago this hostel was a palace of a Nawab. And 20 years ago there is no record of any girl named Sita staying here. Afrin gets worried when she doesn't find Sita. She thinks how she will find Sita. But then an idea comes to her mind. Instead of looking for Sita, she starts gathering information about Lieutenant Ram. The sense shifts to 1964, where we see Major Ram on duty, and at this moment some people were passing the border Kashmir. The Indian army thinks they might be terrorists. Ram then informs his army office. Then everyone grabs those people and takes them all to gunpoint. But by checking them they know that they are normal Muslim people of Kashmir. Then all the army apologized to the common people. Actually, due to heavy snowfall for the last few weeks all the roads were closed and the army camp ran out of food, and they had no food for the last 4 days, and so these Kashmiri Muslims came to give them food. We are then shown Major Selvan of the Indian army who receives an intelligence-based tip that some teenagers from Pakistan have been sent to Kashmir to carry out terrorist activities. He makes a special team for security of Indian army in Kashmir and orders to catch and kill these teenagers, means shoot and sight order. Ram goes to Kargil with his team to nab the terrorist informer. On the other side, the army shoot the children without catching them. And seeing this, the Muslims in Kashmir got angry. They thought that the army had killed our innocent children, so they got angry and pelted stones at the army. And on this deed, Ansari brainwashed Kashmiri Muslims, makes Muslims angry against Hindus. Means he creates riots among Hindu Muslims. When Ram came to know this news he came to the village and he tricked some Hindus away and kept some Hindus inside their houses with closed doors. Muslims came to the village and they found no people in the village and set fire to the houses. When Ram goes to stop these Muslims, he meets the terrorist informer. He catches him and asks him to tell the whole truth. He says these teenage kids were really terror, and it was Ansari's plan to kill those children by the hands of the Indian army and create riots between Muslims and Hindus. And after knowing the truth, the Muslims of Kashmir apologized to the Hindus of Kashmir. Muslims helped the Indian army to put out the fire. And the news spread all over the country. Ram was in the papers and on TV. Major Ram and his team were praised, and Ram became an Indian hero overnight. Then one day, Indian reporter Vijay Lakshmi came to interview Ram and his team, and it was revealed that Ram was an orphan. The next day, Vijay Lakshmi tells everyone about Ram through the radio. So people all over India fall in love and letters start coming to Ram from different places, some calling him son, some calling him brother. So Ram is very happy seeing this. It means now he has a big family. And for that reply letters to those people. And already a letter from a girl named Sita arrives. The girl named Sita addresses Ram as her husband. Ram is surprised to see the letter. I am a brother, I am a son, I became a husband in the final. Be that as it may, Ram and Sita's love story starts from now. Now Sita started sending regular letters and the letters she sent had no address. The reason why Ram could never send a reply letter to his letter means that the girl named Sita who sent the letter had no address. Then one day Sita writes that she lives in Hyderabad, but seeing the stamp of Delhi post office on the back of the letter sent by her, Ram goes to Delhi station with his colleague Lieutenant Bikash. There he boarded a train to Hyderabad, and in that train they were looking for Sita. It means he got a clue that he will come to Hyderabad, and since she has sent a letter from Delhi it means she will come by that train. We then see the train searching and finally finding Sita, and seeing the girl realizes it must be Sita. Ram then gives her all the reply letters he had written for her which she had not been able to send. And he gives the phone number of a friend who will be staying in Hyderabad named Durjoy, and then leaves. But when he goes to Durjoy's house, he comes to know that the phone number given to Sita, that phone is wasted. As a result, the phone number given by Ram is of no use. However, now we see that in the reply letters that Ram sent to Sita, he gave the address of Durjoy's house. For this, Sita herself comes to Durjoy's house to meet Ram. So finally they meet each other and are very happy. Ram also secretly takes many pictures of Sita, and Sita gets angry, because of which Sita leaves without telling her own address. Then Ram comes across news of a magic show in a newspaper, which is going to be held near a college in Hyderabad. So Ram thinks Sita will also come there. On the day of the magic show, Sita actually comes there and Ram meets Sita, and Sita is surprised to see Ram. A friend of Sita says to Ram, Sita wrote many letters for you till now, but sent some of them to you, means wrote many letters but did not send them all to him. Anyway, the two have a great time together, and gradually their bonding becomes much better. And then one day Ram comes to know that Sita already knew him. Actually, once there was a riot in Kashmir, and in that riot Ram was on duty and was saving everyone, and at that time Sita went there to visit Kashmir. He was caught in the riot and Ram saved him. At that time, Sita saw Ram's face but Ram did not see Sita's face. So Ram was a little late in recognizing Sita, but he understands everything after listening to her. And because of this incident, Sita has a soft corner for Ram. Anyway, Ram finds out that Sita lives in Princess Nurjahan's palace and teaches the princess to dance. Ram enters with the help of Subramanyam to meet Sita, who works in that palace, and this Subramanyam we saw a while ago, he is old. Sita is surprised to see Ram. Here Ram proposes to Sita. Here we get to know that this Sita is actually Princess Nurjahan. She used to meet Ram dressed as Sita till today, hiding her identity. Princess Nurjahan is a Muslim and Ram is a Hindu. Anyway, after that, the scene comes to the present, where Afreen goes to meet Durjoy. Durjoy shows him a picture of Sita, and Afreen comes to meet him in Hyderabad with his picture. But he can't find it anywhere. Only we know that Sita was her fake name. Her real name was Princess Nurjahan. So anyway, she doesn't find Sita there but her friend. And she tells Afreen the next stories. From here, Afreen learns that Sita was afraid that if Ram came to know the truth that she is a Muslim and Ram is a Hindu, he would run away. So for this, Sita never spoke the truth to Ram, and spent a good time with him. To save their businesses and factories in Oman, Sita's marriage is arranged with the Prince of Oman. Sita reluctantly agrees to the marriage but does not tell Ram anything about this. And on the other hand, Ram is happily back on duty. Sita cries a lot for Ram and Ram tries hard to contact Sita but can't. And in the meantime, when the two of them are walking around, a journalist secretly takes their picture and prints it in the newspaper. It is said that Princess Nurjahan is secretly in love with ordinary people. And this news was seen by Sita's brother, and when he was asked about all this, she told everything. She says, I love a common man Indian soldier named Ram. Sita cancels her marriage and leaves for Kashmir to meet Ram. Ram is overjoyed to see Sita in Kashmir, and they embrace each other and spend some time in peace there. Then Sita meets Ram's friend. Then the scene shifts back to the present. We see that Afreen has gone to Kashmir in search of Sita. So when she goes to Kashmir, and since she is a Pakistani, the army men catch him. And since she was there looking for Ram, they find it unusual. There was Brigadier Vishnu Sharma, who heard about Ram and came to meet Afreen. Here Vishnu Sharma was known to Ram. He tells Afreen the next story of what happened next. So he says, Ram went to meet me for dinner with Sita. Then a little boy named Mujahideen pointed gun at me, but we caught the boy and we learned from him the location of the Mujahideen group or the terrorist group. The little boy said terrorists who have captured his younger sister and are forcing him to do these things. And then Ram promised him that I will rescue your sister to you. Then Ram plans a secret mission with his team to catch the terrorists, which was equal to suicide, means suicide mission. Ram tells Sita about the mission, and both tearfully bid each other farewell. Little did they know it was going to be their last meeting. Then Ram left for mission with his team. And he reached the terrorist camp and killed all the terrorists. On the other hand, the Pakistani Brigadier Abu Tariq sees the fire burning from a distance, and he goes with his team to see what is happening there. Meanwhile, we see Ram leaving with his team after successful mission, when a baby girl cries from inside, and Ram realizes that it must be the girl he promised to rescue. Ram goes in to save the girl, but by then Abu Tariq is there with soldiers. So all the rest of the Indian soldiers ran away, but Ram and Vishnu were caught. Then Ram handed over Wahida to Tariq and explained everything. Ram tells him, "You will take care of this girl." And then we see Rama and Vishnu being tied and tortured a lot. It is being asked about where are the army camps in India. Both of them are being tortured very badly, but they don't say anything. Seeing this, Tariq is very kind. He takes care of both of them even though the rest of the army misbehaves with them. The rest of the Pakistani soldiers continue to torture them whenever they get a chance. On the other hand, when Sita comes to know about Ram, she meets Brigadier Joshi and her own brother and requests them to talk to Pakistan for Ram's release, but she does not get any help from anywhere. Meanwhile, Vishnu could not bear their torture and told them several locations of army camps in India for their arguments, but the Pakistani army cheated them. They released Vishnu but hanged Ram as a terrorist. Now Vishnu returns to India and says that Ram has told everything where the army bases are in India, and within a few days several army bases in India are attacked by terrorists and several soldiers die. As a result, the one who was considered a hero until now, suddenly becomes a traitor. Before Ram dies, he writes a letter for Sita and gives it to Tariq, as Tariq is the only one whom Ram trusts. Tariq gave the letter to his granddaughter Afreen to deliver it to Sita. Then the scene shifts again in 1965, where Ram rescued the baby girl who was Afreen. Afreen is surprised to know this. Meanwhile, Afreen's friend delivers Ram's letter to Sita, and Sita is overjoyed to see that Ram has written to her after 20 years. So in this letter Ram wrote all the truth about what happened to them. By reading this letter, Sita means Nurjahan comes to know that Ram was innocent. With this letter there was a piece of paper in which the love story of Ram and Sita was printed. Seeing this, Sita realized that Ram also already knew that Sita was Nurjahan but still did not say anything. On the other hand, we see that the man named Vishnu who declared Ram a traitor 20 years ago, today feels responsible for Ram's death and commits suicide with his own pistol. And then we see Afreen is released from jail and she meets Sita. He hugs Sita and the ego of hating Indians goes away. Afreen and Sita then prove Ram's innocence in front of everyone, and Ram regains the honor he lost 20 years ago and the Indian army again hails him as a hero. And in the last episode, when Afreen returns to London, he apologizes to Indian social worker Anand Mehta and frees 18 more Indian prisoners from Pakistan. And this is where the movie ends.